Alright guys, so here are the materials that I use to wind my pickups. You're going to need two bobbins. It really doesn't matter what kind of bobbins you're using. I'm using like the double hex bobbin ones. I've done some with like, the normal ones, and you can do whatever you want. There's some good kits out there that I've used. Mojotone makes some good kits. I've gotten a few parts from Mojotone, like the 4 conductor wire, the magnets. So the magnets is what's pretty important here. So the magnets that I'm using, these are ceramic magnets. I'm gonna try to make like a really high output pickup. You can get Alnicos and stuff like that. You can get any kind of magnet that you want that you're gonna choose, but I'm using these. These are ceramic 8 magnets for like a dual rail. I've already wound this pickup, but I decided to, I wanted to rewind it, and I decided, why not make a video out of it. So once you get all your materials, that's the basic part that you're gonna need. All right, now in terms of wire, the wire that I use is either 42 or 43. I've done 44, but mainly I do 42 and 43. Remington. This brand's pretty good. You can get yourself obviously a lot more quality, but let's say you can't afford it, you can get the stuff on Amazon for like $30, and it lasts you a long time if you know what you're doing. But we're gonna be using 43 in this pickup wind. I'm gonna be going for like a very high output metal type sound pickup, and so we're gonna need more winds on this. So we're gonna be using 43 because it's a lot thinner than the 42 gauge one. All right, now so in terms of tape, I'm gonna be using this double-sided mounting tape. It's just double-sided, so you can just put the bobbin, put it on the machine. And this I just use a little bit just to like put the lead wire on the machine so it doesn't just flop everywhere. And then this is like a little cloth pickup tape. I got this off of like Amazon. It's pretty good. I've had it for a long time, so it lasts a while. And then this is just tape that I just put in around the bobbin inside once I'm done, just to make sure that the coil is, real good in there. All right, so I'm going to be using this kind of wire for my pigtails because it's not like the normal wire where it's like, it's all separated. It's just like one little thick wire, and I just spin it in there. And you can get the stuff on Amazon too. I have all the links in the description for all the material that I'm using here. And you're gonna also need a multimeter. I think a LCR meter is probably the best thing to use because you can check your resistance and your henries. It's pretty cheap. I don't remember how much I paid for it, but it really does save you a lot of guessing. Because I've done that in the past where I'm just guessing and it's just horrible. Right now, in terms of the machine itself, this is a machine that I actually built around probably like 2 years ago. And, it cost me to build it itself definitely under $100, probably around 50 or $60 for everything. And it works perfect. This is just from the on and off. And then if you guys are interested in how I built it, I can probably make a separate video on how to build a winding machine. But yeah, this is just the machine that I use. And I also built this little guiding tensioner thing to guide the wire, because I've seen Mojotone, they have theirs and it's like $60, and I made this for like under $10. Probably even like $6 for those, just building this little thing, and it works great. So if you guys are interested in how I built these two things, let me know, and I'll make a separate video for that. And we're gonna use double-sided sticky tape to put on the bobbin. And I'm gonna get some of this painter's tape and just put it right over here. all I did was just put the spool on the floor. So if you're doing this like with your fingers, just put it on the floor. And then we're gonna tape that off right there. And I am going counterclockwise. So now you got your bobbin placed there. You're gonna wanna make sure you have your machine on and your counter, because I've had that instance where I started turning and it just didn't even start counting anything. So I want to make sure you do that first, and just give it a good 10 turns in there. So like give it a good lead. All right, you got 7 turns in there, a couple more. And then we're going to turn the machine on and make sure that the spacers here, it's aligned with the bobbin itself. Okay. Okay, I gotta move this a little bit to the left. That's the hair. Let's try that. Okay, that's a lot better. Okay, and then from here we're just gonna start winding it fully. I'm gonna try to go for 7,000 turns each bobbin. Probably this one I might do a little bit more. So we're gonna start winding. All right, guys, so here we got 7,218 turns. So, and a good thing you should always do is write down everything that you're doing. So like the amount of turns, all that stuff is good for the future. Now I can just literally do exactly what I did for my other pickups. So here we have the finished bobbin. And now we're gonna get started on the other one. All right, so one thing you should do is always when you're winding, stop in the middle of a winding session and take a look, to see if you don't have any overspills, or to see if one side is too filled, or, make it even, just to double check that you don't have anything, coming over, like, because it does happen where like the wire jumps. You're gonna want to make sure that you stop and take a look, everything's looking good, and then you continue your winds, because if you don't, you're gonna end up like this. You're gonna have to rewind, and it happens. It does happen a lot. So before, when I used to waste one of these in like one pickup. So it does happen, where it tends to jump, or the wire just snaps. So you're gonna have to make sure your tension is on point and make sure that everything's looking right. Because then, basically you're gonna be wasting a bunch of material, and you don't want to do that. You want to make sure everything's on point. Alright, so now that we're done with the winding, we're just gonna take this off the machine. Just be careful with this because don't want to rip that. Take off the double sticky tape, put that aside, and we're gonna zoom in a little closer and put everything together. Cut out the pigtails or the leads, whatever you want to call them. And we're gonna need 2 of each. That's how I do them. Just gonna cut this. And 2 black and 2 whites. Now that we have the pigtails or the lead wires, and to make it easier for me, what I do is just, I do, my whites are gonna be my finish and then my blacks are gonna be my start. So I'm gonna grab the white and put this finish wire. Just grab enough and just make a little coil around it. And with some of this, hold it like that. Now we're gonna grab some solder. We're just gonna place it right there. First we're gonna heat it up a little. Like that. Just cut off the excess. And what I usually do is just like kind of make another little coil, wrap this around this, so it just like reaches all the way to the bottom. You're gonna get your coil tape and you're gonna tape this one down. Like so, right? Now we're gonna get our start and put down, grab the black one and put that one here. Give it a couple turns in there. And then a little bit of weight like that. Hold it in there. And we're gonna grab, now we're gonna heat this up. And then you're just gonna wanna let the solder flow. See, because what you wanna do is melt the coating that's on the copper wire here and expose, because there's a very thin coating on top of this, on this wire that insulates it. Now what you want to do is cut this off and put that there. What the fuck is, oh and now you're going to want to tape your finish down. And what I usually do is right before doing anything else, after I do this, I always check for a reading. So if there's no reading, that means you didn't do a good connection. 7.92, so this is gonna be real hot, which is what I was expecting from this. I was expecting a good high readings, k-ohms per each, so that's good. Trying to get like a real high output pickup, and that's gonna be around 15 k-ohms, so that's a good sign right there. Now we're gonna do the second bobbin, put everything together. We have both our coils ready. We're gonna put the whole thing together. So one thing you're gonna have to remember here is the way that this works, right? So you got your start, your finish, and your start. So it goes like this. So the way that I have my pickup settings are, this coil is my north and this coil is my south. So if I put them aside, this is my start, and then this would be my finish of my north coil, and then the south coil, this is my start and this is my finish. So the way this flows, it's start, finish, finish, start. So now let's say you don't want to do the 4 conductor wire. You want to do like a normal like 2, or like the braided wire that they usually have, like the vintage ones have like the braided wires. You would connect these 2 finishes together, solder them together, wrap it up, and just tuck it in there. And you would get your start from your south and connect that to your hot right here. And then you connect this, and then you would just solder this and this onto your base plate. And that's how you would get just a normal 2 conductor wire pickup. But I'm going to be doing the 4 conductor wire. So how the way I do this is I grab the white and the green and I put those together and I connect these 2 together right here with this. All 4 of those get together, or tuck those in there. And then I grab my red wire and I connect that to the start of my north coil, and I connect my black wire to the start of my south coil plate. I just solder this to the base plate, and that's how I do that. It's a pretty straightforward the way I do it. And so now I'm just gonna assemble all this and show you guys. And the way to see, what side your magnets are is, just grab a regular compass, and I'm always north up, so, and see what side is north and south. And I can see that this is my north, this is my south, and this is my north. Like that. Put those there. Put these here. Put these here. Like that. I've left the pickup sit in paraffin wax for about 20-25 minutes, just so that I can see the bubbles are gone. And what this does, it basically helps it not become so microphonic. It insulates everything, so it helps it not become so microphonic. So we're just gonna take this out of here now and lay it on this cloth towel thing and just clean off the excess. And I'm just gonna let this sit here for a couple minutes. So now that the pickup is cooled down, all that's left to do is just wrap it up with the pickup tape, and it's pretty straightforward. Put it around it. Alright guys, and that is how you make a humbucker pickup. Just gonna do a final check. See what it reads. I'm trying to go for like a 15 k ohms. 15.93. So it's a really hot pickup. The Henry's 7.86. And I usually compare my pickups to like, so this is a Seymour Duncan custom shop that they made for me. It's probably the hottest pickup that I have. And this one reads, in terms of resistance, 18 points, 18.58, so 59. So it's a really, really hot pickup. And then the Henry's 8.56. So it's kind of like, you know, a little less hotter than this, but it's still pretty hot. You know, this pickup's pretty hot. So um, it's a pretty good reading, what I was going for. And honestly, I recommend a lot of people to wind your own pickups, just because it's like it's a fun thing to learn, and how a pickup is, and you know, you don't have to be so perfect about it. It's a fun experience. You know, I've been doing it for a couple of years now, and you know, instead of wasting so much money on, you know, expensive pickups, you can just make your own. The best way to do it, you know, it's like you buy yourself like a cheap starter guitar, and you rip the pickups apart, and you just wind your own pickups. Like that's how I started. I've had like a lot of like Jackson stock pickups that I've ripped apart and just, you know, rewound them myself, just learning and learning until like I got confident enough to like buy actual parts, and you know, and start making a little bit more quality stuff. And it's not an easy thing to do, you know. It does take practice and practice and practice. You know, I've had times where, you know, I just completely just stopped doing it for so long, because I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna get any better. But trust me, if you just keep practicing and practicing and learning more stuff, you'll be able to like make some good pickups. There's a lot of good channels on YouTube that I've personally watched. I've seen Dylan Talks Tones and Highline Guitars. You know, I've seen their videos and they've taught me so much. So I do recommend you guys checking those channels out. And at the end of the day, it's all about having fun and really getting to enjoy your passion in music, and being able to just be creative and making your own stuff.
Do it. Trust me. Do it. Just do it. Trust me. Trust me, it's fun. It's a lot of fun and a lot of headaches.